And we're back.
Very special episode. Very special.
Number 99, baby.
Number 99.
I was all set. I thought for certain this was going to be our 100th episode, and I was texting you, Johnny, about what should we do for the 100th ep, and we should have we should go through our favorite topics, and I was like researching which of my favorite.
We'll do that next week. We will do that next week.
Oh yeah,
right?
We'll do it next week, and you'll love it. Everyone, you're sitting there and going, God damn it, I can't wait for number 100. Well, it's coming, but this is 99. Big letdown.
Yeah, we had it all planned out, and I think a week ago I got the email from Buzzsprout that was like, congrats, you've uploaded 100 episodes. So I'm like, oh, did we miscount and we already did 100?
That's very possible,
so then we got ready for 100, and now it's like, oh, we're not even at 100 yet.
No, I know what that one is one time I uploaded an episode and it didn't go right, or it wasn't the right file, and so I just kind of abandoned it and went to the next one and never actually published it. And so Buzzsprout has us one ahead of where we're supposed to be.
Oh, I see.
Or at least one. I don't know. But whatever.
You're not a good show or a good podcast unless you have that rare, hard to find gem that everyone talks about. Oh man, I got a bootleg of that. You can't get your hands on that anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
lost episode.
There's definitely a couple of those for this. If you can find them, good on you. I can't. So congrats. Oh, buddy, how are you doing, man?
Doing all right. Had a weekend of shows at the St. Louis Funny Bone, where you will be in a month?
Yeah. Do they have my picture up there anywhere?
On the website, they do.
Wow.
They didn't even have my picture up at the club.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think.
Well, then I feel less bad about it.
It's have you been there before?
No.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun staff, and it's kind of an old school type club. You'll see. It's fun.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know. It's just it's not like one of these new. It's like you go in the room. You remember Connections? You do comedy Connection. Did you ever do Connections for Funny Business? There was one in Toledo and one in.
Maybe the one in Toledo actually. Wait, where?
It's just that feel. You go in there,
Dayton.
and you can just smell. You can just smell the 80s. You can just smell the 80s, and you're just like, oh man, this is old comedy room, low ceiling. You can just picture it filled with smoke, and
right.
It's just got that vibe to it.
Okay, I'm excited. It's to
fun.
get there. Do they still name food items after different comedians? To me, that's an old school 80s.
I know they don't have a kitchen; it's all bar.
Oh, really?
But they don't.
And they still have a smell.
Yeah,
that's usually bad when you have a smell and you don't even have a fryer anywhere. Ooh, smells like tater tots. No, that's just some guy somewhere.
Yeah, that's just someone's BO near you.
Yeah. That's just tater tots.
God.
We call them tater tots, and he smells. A smelly guy.
Well, I'll tell you, pre-show banter. I got some content out of the shows. I don't know if you saw. I posted, I think 2 of them, but I saw
at least one of them. I know I saw one of them, but go ahead.
Yeah, and that was fun. Whatever. But what was hilarious is there was a lady. This was at the early show. This was at the first show. This was Thursday, first show, and it was a lot. It was a small crowd, but they were just having a blast. I mean, it was fun. It was very intimate, and there was a couple up front, an older couple, and I did one old dumb joke, and she really liked it, and she was like, oh my God, that's so fun. And she over explained it, and everyone was laughing at her because she thought people didn't get her. She got it later than everyone. Then she said it out loud, and she was just so happy. She was like, oh my God. And I was making fun of her, yeah, if you want to explain it, whatever. And she's like, oh my God, my face hurts. I have never been this happy. I don't think I've ever been this happy in my life. And she got kicked out. She got kicked out, and I didn't even they came and talked to her, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna even whatever, because they they kind of frown upon you being like, no, let him leave. Like one of the bouncers before the show was like, yeah, sometimes the comics are like, oh, let him stay. And that just makes it harder for me.
Yeah.
So with that in my head, I was like, well, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just not going to talk. I'll just keep doing my act. And so and then they leave. I find out after the show, she left sobbing, just sobbing. And I was like, what happened? He was like, well, she kept talking. And I was like, she got kicked out for saying she's the happiest she's ever been in her life. Oh my God, it was too funny. And then, Sunday, the last show was a small, it was a Sunday night show. It was small, and there was a troublemaker. It was a couple stage left, just she had to respond to every rhetorical question, all the comics before me. She had something, oh, you're in St. Louis now, girl, or what, just whatever. Yeah. She wouldn't shut up. So I go up, and she's not there. She's like in the bathroom for like half my set. And then she comes back, and she
That's also like a red flag. You're too drunk when you go to the bathroom for like 30 minutes.
When you miss an entire act almost. But one of the waitresses had called in sick. And so the bouncer that was, very trigger happy was just running drinks. So he couldn't do security this show at all. And it was just ironic because she didn't get kicked out because he was too busy doing other stuff. And then she eventually we kind of got in, like, me and the boyfriend or whatever kind of got back and forth, and he was like, not that good, dude, not that good. And I'm like, what? Oh, I'm not that good? And he's like, not that good, dude. And he's like, look, 24 people here. You're killing it, bro. You're killing it, bro. And I was like, oh, okay, now you're being an asshole, whatever. And then he like stands up and he starts like yelling. And then the waiter / bouncer was like, all right, you got to go. So they got kicked. They got kicked out. And as they were leaving, one of the feature, Meredith Hopping, very funny. One of her friends goes, yep, time to go. And that pissed this girl. She turned around. She came back in the club. She pushed Meredith up against the wall, like scratched her arm, had to get pulled out. It was a huge commotion in the back of the room. I was like, what's going on back there? You guys got to go outside. You just, whatever you're doing, do it out there. I mean, it was crazy. It was a nightmare.
Dude.
But it just reminded me of that topic. Like,
yes, that's what I was thinking about this whole time.
These are adults.
And you probably had like what, 6 shows in the weekend or something. So 2 out of the 6. Now the one person was kicked out. I think maybe
I felt terrible.
Maybe they're like, that bouncer should work at Disneyland. Like some kid running around. This is the greatest day of my life. You gotta go, buddy. You got to go.
You got to calm it down, kid.
You're ruining the park for the rest of they're all paying customers, all right, bud? They're all trying to hear Mickey. Keep it down, buddy. This is the best day of my life. Yeah, you're out. Get out of here. The best day of your life just turned into the worst day in your life, pal. You're gone.
Get out. Oh, my God.
That is incredible. Kind of on the same... I don't know. I did shows all weekend too. I don't think anybody got kicked out. But for one, I did this show at a winery on God, what was it? Saturday night. And I brought this really funny comic here in Portland with me to open, this guy named Jake Silberman. He's a little dirtier than I am, And he's like a little nervous before the show. He's super funny, but he's like, yeah, I just don't think I'm like a winery comic, And I was like, man, you'll be fine. There's full room, and they're here to have a good time, Just do your thing. You'll be great. He has like a lot of Epstein material, So he's kind of worried. Sure. Yeah, he's kind of worried. I was like, yeah, you'll be fine. And then he goes up and he's like, I just remember he was talking about eating ass, and I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe that doesn't pair as well with a cab. The ass eating with the Merlot, but whatever.
Yeah.
But he does great. He kills, of course. And then there's a guy who had I guess it's like he just started doing this thing where he's just I started a bit about, it's like, I don't know, CrossFit or working out or something. And then the whole time I'm talking, and I can see him doing it immediately. But he just starts. His
Mhm.
wife is sitting next to him, and he just starts going like this, like pointing at his wife.
Oh, pointing at her?
Yeah, and like I'd already done some crowd stuff, so I was just like, I'm gonna ignore this. And it actually kind of gave me a perverse sense of like satisfaction. I'm like, man, I bet it's driving him crazy that he knows I saw him, and I'm just doing my bit and not acknowledging
Right.
him. But I'm talking about like for like a minute and a half, the whole bit, just pointing, and then he kept doing it after I was. So finally, I was like, all right, whatever. Sir, you seem to have something on your mind. What is? And then he gets up and he just stands up like it's Toastmasters. Like I called on him at a press conference, and he stands all the way up, and he starts talking about how his wife, almost died and had surgery, and it's like a 2-minute speech, and then now she's like a bodybuilder or something. And I was like, whatever. But it was like the problem with
That's your response.
I was like,
whatever. Sir.
whatever. I was like, okay, that was really long, or it was fine. But the problem with it was, I'm all set to make fun of him, but then he said this thing about how his wife almost died. So it's like you got to pull back like a little bit, right? So I make fun of it a little bit, but try to be a tasteful way.
No.
Then the next night, that Jake is on stage, and he identifies that some woman in the front row does like she has like a weekly cocaine budget or something. And so then I'm on stage, and then what I think is the same woman, I'm talking about kids, and I'm like, yeah, you have kids? And she's like, I have 5 kids, 4 alive. I was like, and everybody heard. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't oh, well. Well, you still got 4. What are you supposed to say?
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I'm like 10 minutes into the show. It's like, I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am. I don't know what to say.
Oh my God. Why would she even say that?
I mean, is that the way you say, like if someone asked you to have kids and you had a kid who died, you just immediately go, you should know that one of my kids is gone, it's
right. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Especially in a comedy show.
In a comedy show. That's what I tried to tell her, but so anyway.
I thought when you were talking about that first guy, I thought you're like, he's like pointing and pointing and pointing or ignoring whatever. Okay. And then finally you're like, all right, sir, what is it? And then he goes, my wife is choking.
You should have just interrupted me, man, or called the fire department. You should not have been that polite.
Right.
She's in big trouble. Somebody do. I can't interrupt the show,
blue.
but I don't want to get kicked out.
I don't want to be rude. Yeah, I don't want the bouncer. He's a little trigger happy. I don't want to kick me out.
I'd rather choke to death than get kicked out of this comedy show. Oh man, yeah, comedy adventures.
Comedy adventures. Oh my gosh.
And I have a discussion point. I think it's not a full topic, so I'm gonna call it a discussion point. Wait, am I jumping the gun? Do you have something else?
No. I know our audience is salivating for appliance talk because I've got some after, but you go first.
I shouldn't skip appliance talk. Maybe we should go appliance talk.
No, we'll do that before we get into that.
This has a small sort of transition to appliance talk, I think.
Okay.
Because I guess this could be considered an appliance. Probably not, but
this will be a lead-in topic.
So my parents are staying with me, and my mom comes out of the bathroom and is like, so you guys don't have a plunger? A plunger? And I was like, no. She's like, how do you not have a plunger? Just nobody ever. I was like, I don't know. I thought we had a pretty good toilet. It was handling things. It's just not come up. So she's like,
you don't have one in the whole house?
No, we don't have one in the whole house.
Oh, you're living on the edge.
I go in and I'm like, you know what? I bet I can just get this, a couple of extra flushes.
What?
I have this.
I bet I can get this down.
I just have a weird confidence. I'm like, I think the way you're flushing is wrong or something, But then it turns out my mom was like, I guess it's like something follows her, cursed with like. She's like, she takes like normal dumps, but it's just like, she's like, it just happens a lot for me. I don't know if it's like the shape of my bowels or like what I
sure
eat, but she's like, I just clog toilets wherever And so I was like, well, that's, and she's like sometimes I try to, if I know they don't have a plunger, I try to hold, like, she just always thinks it's gonna, I was like, maybe it's mental. Maybe you're just like, but anyway.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So we went out, we got a house plunger, got a plunger for the house. But I think, cause like, hotel rooms don't have plungers, right?
Right.
So you have to make that call. If you clock, that's embarrassing. Nobody likes to do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Wait, are you thinking about it? And I guarantee.
No, that trip. I think I talked about it on here when my daughter puked in the bed.
Oh yeah,
and then,
no plunger.
Clogged the toilet, and it was just overflowing.
Yeah. So see, no plunger in that situation.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, the travel plunger. Right? Invent a thing that's like collapsible and small, but like you can so like my mom just could always be hooked up everywhere she goes. Any bathroom. You could go to the Palace of Versailles or wherever you're going. Doesn't matter. And you always have the confidence you can take a huge dump and you'll be able to unclog it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I wouldn't invest a whole lot into that.
Why
I don't
not?
know.
It's a great idea.
There's plungers so many places. Who would travel? I mean,
no hotel room has a plunger. So just to save your, is
that a big enough problem in hotels
for my mom?
alone?
Yeah, everywhere she goes. This is probably not unique to her. There's probably other people who are like every bathroom they go to, they're like, God damn it, I'm at this skinny ass pipe. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, you don't sound confident.
I think
I'm gonna shock the world.
Well, I think my brother and your mom would be your two customers, and then
that's just two off the top of our heads. I mean, you just extrapolate that to the world population.
Yeah, could be.
But if you just I'm
gonna be missing out.
You just have to make it collapsible enough, where you could literally have it on your person without anyone.
Like, how would it be? Like, but that's the gross. Like, if I had it and then I used it, I'd be like, all right, well, maybe that's good. Maybe that would increase sales because once it's used,
disposable.
You throw it away.
Disposable rubber tip to it. So you keep like the it's like a telescoping sort of like a tripod thing.
Sure.
Like a baton,
Yeah, and then you twist it to lock it.
Yeah, you twist it to lock it, and then the end, that's the plunger part, we sell those are like new every time. So you like unfurl it, snap it on, and then you're like, oh shit, I just used my emergency travel plunger. I better reload.
Yeah, we could sell like 5 packs, 10 packs.
Yeah. Make a subscription every month.
Oh god, they don't even have to think about it.
Yeah,
it just shows up.
A travel plunger box.
Clogged 5 toilets by now.
Yeah, you're like, we show the commercial and there's just a kid eagerly. He sees the UPS man. Ooh, the new plunger tips are here.
Mom, it's here. You just hear her voice from a closed bathroom door. We'll bring it in here.
And just some loud stomps to the. No, I don't mean to cast aspersions, but anyway, it just occurred to me. I don't know. It's just a little discussion, but I was thinking that gets.
Or what if it was like, instead of a stick, like a handle?
Yeah,
it's like just a hand, like a push-up handle, and so you just
like the perfect push-up.
Yeah, the perfect push-up, one of those, but the round part is a plunger, so you stick your hand in the toilet and you just kind of.
But wait, you're okay with like your bare hand going into the toilet?
Well, you'd put a bag over your hand or something.
Maybe there's like a rubber sleeve.
Yeah, you put your hand in there.
Okay.
Then you don't have to worry about the telescopic handle.
Yeah, I'm okay with anything that works as a travel plunger situation. So if you could roll that up or so, just as long as it's something you could keep like, in your back pocket or your cell phone case. Maybe you could make a cell phone case that also on one back end has a plunger. Toilet plunger.
Shark Tank, here we come.
I know. I think there's some money in it, and also maybe, people, if it was more discreet, it'd be better even in your home, because it's not like super elegant to just have a plunger next to your toilet. If you're like trying to create like a beautiful bathroom kind of experience, have like a dirty.
Yeah, but I mean, there's already a toilet there. I mean,
wow, that's unavoidable.
Everyone knows that's where shit goes.
I know, but the plunger next to it really says like, we do dirty things here.
Sometimes things go wrong.
Things have gone awry before. Heidi immediately was like, she brought it down to the basement. She's like, "Oh, thank you for the plunge." She was working in the room the whole time. Then she missed the whole toilet clogged. Have to go to the hardware store for a plunger. Whole event. One. So we got one. Yeah, my dad went out and got one. I was like, "Well, we'll buy a plunger." He's like, "No, we did it to your toilet. We'll buy the plunger." Very responsible of him. And it was a gift from them to us. We get to keep it. And Heidi was like, "Well, we'll put it in the basement in between, because Ginger could grab it and like lick it or something." But I think part of it was like she didn't want it just sitting there ruining the decor.
So where are you keeping it?
In the basement.
In the basement. Oh.
We have an unfinished basement, so it's great for just like throwing anything.
Well, we have
how many plungers do you have?
3 plungers. We have a plunger
one in each bathroom.
Yeah.
Why do you need 3 plungers?
Because 3 people could be sitting on the toilet and dump so big. Well, because let's say.
What are the odds? What are the odds? Let's say 3 dumps happen at the same time.
But let's say that's not okay. Let's say that's not what happens. But let's say that let's say Aaron took a big, huge, fat dump. Okay,
sure,
in the master bathroom.
Okay, gotcha.
Does she really want
to
go get the other one?
I guess if you can afford it. If you're a man of that
kind
of means.
when you fly Frontier to save dollars every now and again, you can afford 3 plungers. That's just the plungers are higher on my priority list. Speaking of which, I am flying tomorrow for Frontier, which I thought I was all set, and I went to check in today, and they're like, "You can't bring." I have flown Frontier like ages ago, or maybe I'm confusing it with Northwest, but I've never flown Spirit. I've never flown one where they say you can't have anything. You can't even have a carry-on. It was $50 each way for a carry-on.
It hurts my heart.
I have to pack Thursday through Sunday, and I'm going to shove it all in a backpack.
Well, I mean, that's what I would do too. So the backpack is free. You just can't have like a roller bag carry-on.
No.
Yeah.
That's not true. That is not true. I can't even have the backpack. They specify. Yeah, backpack is too big. That's not a personal item. That's a carry-on.
So you have to bring like a purse.
Yeah, or a purse. A purse, a laptop bag, or a child's backpack are considered personal items. But like a full backpack.
So what are you gonna do?
Duffel bag. I had to pay. I paid, so I have a carry, so I can have a backpack.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, that's $100. Like you could buy a weekend's worth of clothes for $100. Yeah.
Too late.
I
wish I would have thought of that. Well, what am I gonna? I don't know. Whatever. They got me.
Because you could just wear like a nice shirt on the plane, nice pants, and then just go buy underwear and socks when you're there, and then
a swimsuit.
What, are you going in the pool?
Yeah, it's a bachelor party.
Oh, you're a bachelor party. Oh, I forgot. I thought this was just comedy. Yeah. Going on where's the bachelor party?
I do bring swimsuits when I go on comedy.
I do too, and I never use it. They're always like this last I was in Yakima, Washington, and they're like, "Oh, the hot tub's open 24 hours," and we were all like, "Ooh!" And I was like, "What do I want to go in this indoor hot tub this Comfort Inn and Suites for.
Yeah.
But where's the bachelor party?
Phoenix.
And by the way, I want to reiterate, I am so disappointed in you that you flew Frontier. But go ahead.
I know. Well, honestly, I tried everything else. I went on Hopper. I checked Southwest. I checked flying out of Milwaukee, out of Chicago, into LA, into Phoenix. I checked everything, and it just wasn't working. Like, I can't even. I don't know if I've complained about this already. I have to sleep at the Las Vegas airport for my layover to get home. Everyone's leaving Sunday morning.
Going?
To Phoenix.
You tell me there isn't like a American Airlines flight that goes like Milwaukee, Dallas, Phoenix?
It was literally, there was a $300 to $400 discrepancy.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like,
well, then you're still ahead.
Can't.
I guess you're still making out ahead and flying this and rewarding this horrible business.
I did it for content, so I could bitch about it on here. That's why I did it.
That's my one. That should be a topic of mine. But that's my one thing. It's like these people book these $8 flights and they go, "What the f, man? They won't even let my seat recline." It's like, yeah, you paid $19 to fly to Germany. They had to cut some corners. How do you think they? Hey, wait a minute! They charged me for an orange juice. Yeah, no shit. You paid $0 to fly.
Huh? Yeah.
No, but that's you.
And
that's not what this show.
I will never do it again. I've never flown Spirit. And what's the other one? Is there another one?
I did.
I
had no, but you're right though. It's Sunco or something.
Blue Jet or something.
Well, JetBlue is decent.
Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
I've never flown that either.
That's like good for like East Coast, but like I was tempted. Okay, so there was a Spirit flight that was like you said, like $300 cheaper because I have to go to Louisville from Portland to Louisville. I mean, that's not easy these days. Like everything's more expensive and there's less flights and but I resisted the temptation. I would rather do so I have to do a red eye the night before the gig, but I would rather do that than fly like day of on Spirit.
Totally. Totally. So would I.
Okay. So we're on the same page, but
yeah.
Anyway, and it's harder for me. It's funny because like I thought, I'm actually again surprised at your thing because like to me going West Coast to East Coast for gigs is the nightmare because like I'm fighting a 3-hour difference before the gig starts. So like if I have to go, we're going to go to Palm Springs and then I have that same weekend in St. Louis. So I have to fly from Palm Springs to St. Louis. So I have to leave. I think it's like a 5 a.m. flight just to get to the Thursday show on time. That's the only way.
Yeah.
You're
losing 3 hours.
Yeah.
No, I think you're only losing 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, St. Louis, Midwest? Oh.
Yeah, it's Central Time.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Point remains the same.
Right.
Anyway, appliance. So my point was to go from plunger talk to appliance talk because I was like, that's in the same world of the plunger is like a very basic level appliance. But go ahead.
Right. It's early technology.
Yeah.
So, the discount bandit strikes again. Oh my God!
Yeah, we're on a real theme here.
Oven.
Get what you pay for.
That's the side. The oven we got from them, the microwave we got from them, and the third item that we bought at the same time was the dishwasher.
Okay.
So, it comes, and they're loading it out. He takes apart our old one, he disconnects it, and all this stuff, and then he goes, "Hey, you might want to come out here and look at this." I was like, "What?" He's like, some of this washer is all messed up. And I was like, "Oh, what?" So I go out there. They had taken it off the truck. It's on the ground, and it's just banged to shit. Like the front of it looked like someone kicked it as hard as they could, like 5 times. and there's a bunch of like wires, like not like plug-in cords, but like wires. They're supposed to be connected that were like pulled out, like
someone was
ripped
trying
out,
to
just disconnected.
defuse a bomb or
Yeah,
something.
to defuse a bomb or something. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is pretty bad. I don't know what you want to do. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want that. Like, yeah, he's like, well, they're probably they're gonna tell you to take it and then they'll fix it, but I wouldn't. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to. So he's on the phone with his boss trying to like explain the situation. Meanwhile, they call me and they're like, yeah, we went to the delivery people. And I guess, could you describe what's the issue with those cords? Where are those? Because we didn't get a clear picture. I'm like, I don't know. This thing's all dinged up and banged up. And here, can you even see this? Do you see the dings?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. It looks like someone
It's terrible.
teed off golf balls directly into
right
the front
into
of
it.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, those cords, you know what? She goes, here's what you should do. Just have them bring it in and install it. And then Samsung, they're very good at I'm like, what? No, I am not having this broken piece of shit brought into my house and then dealing with I don't care how good. Like, are you out of your mind? I was like, no, not happening. So then they just had to take it away, but I was so pissed. And she was like, well, her advice was to do that because it takes so long. She's like, well, you know, it takes us a long time to get these. And I'm like,
shit.
I don't care.
You know, look at the one they got you.
A broken one that's not going to work. That's not going to help. Oh my God. Discount Bandit Frontier. What the hell am I doing with myself?
What?
Why do I make
The
life
ironic
so hard?
thing is I went to your home and you have this beautiful house with like amazing, and it's like so put together, and it's like huge, and it's just like wonderful and clean, and it seems like a real like sophisticated, but it's all a front.
It's a facade.
It's all facade. You're just getting everything on the side of the road, and you put a little spit polish, and you guys clean it up. You have this 90-inch TV. It's like, I'm sure you got it from a drug dealer somewhere, or like in a repo.
No,
auction.
we got that from Costco.
Oh,
baby.
Costco. Okay. Well, close enough. But
so that's what the plan is. We're gonna cancel this order, try to get our money back, and then get either Costco or Best Buy. See if we can get the same model.
Well,
and just
I will
pay
say
the $250 difference.
great luck with the Costco dishwasher. I just got to be honest with you. We have no complaints, so that's the way I would go if I were you. But
what brand did you get?
Whirlpool. I think.
Is it super quiet?
Yeah, we only run it at night, so I don't notice it.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine. It was like $500. It was like pretty cheap, but it had better reviews than some of the like $700, $800 ones. So I went for it, and it doesn't have the top rack. We talked about this, but it doesn't have the top rack thing.
Right.
Put the knives in.
That, so
but then it's like we would always forget the knives were in there. So I'd be like, where the fuck is the bread knife? And then it's done like 18 washes in a row up there, and like you're like, oh, okay, I think this thing is clean now. And so plus then I read that my mom told me when she wasn't busy clogging up toilets, she told me that you shouldn't even run your knives through the dishwasher. It's like bad for them or something. So now I just hand wash the knives.
Huh.
I mean, you're not going to find podcasts better than this. You just aren't.
You're just not, people. You're not.
I don't know what you're looking for. You think Rogan's dropping you dishwasher tips like this? He's not.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not. Oh boy.
Mm.
Oof. All right. Well, should we get
into?
being a cavalry?
Jesus, we gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up and be a cavalry here.
All right.
You want to go, or you want me to go?
I'll go. I'll go first.
You go first.
Okay. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Seen a lot of ads, and made me think of this. If you listen to an audiobook You did not read the book. You did not read the book. You cannot tell people you read the book. Have you seen these ads? Am I going to get some pushback?
No. I'm not an audiobook
because
guy.
this is literally the ad. The ad is, I used to hate reading. And they have an app where you can take a picture and it reads it to you. And now with Readify or whatever it is, I'm reading 3 or 4 books a week. And it's like, no, you're not. You're listening to someone read to you. I mean, it's just that there's no, right? There's no argument.
Well, so it's interesting because so basically you're saying like they're like, I used to hate reading, and it's like, yeah, you still hate reading. You still hate reading. You found a way to not read. You're cheating. You hated reading, now you're cheating.
It's like, I used to be a terrible driver, and now with Uber, I am a great driver because I sit in the back and don't do it. Right?
That's really funny. That's like a bit, dude.
then I should put a star by it.
Yeah, put a star by that one. I think you just wrote a bit. What I would say is it's an interesting philosophical question, right? Because what's the point of reading? It's just to get the information. It's to learn. Hear the story.
Your brain grows more when you read it that way, I think.
Is it true? Is that Doc? Do we know that?
It sounds right. Don't you think?
Or is it just that thing is like when we go, this was harder, so it was worth it. But then sometimes it's not always true, right? Like it's sometimes like work smarter, not harder, or whatever.
Yeah, but with reading, I mean,
just because you talk in that voice, just because you talk in that voice doesn't make the argument more. Yeah, but with reading, it's like you did not give me any other information there. Yeah, but what you're saying, but what I said originally seems more the way. If I say it like this.
But with kids, you have kids read. You have kids read so that they can get smart and learn, right?
Yeah, but have we ever
always read? What?
Have we ever tried just giving them audio? Like, has there been a generation of kids that only listen to audiobooks? Did we see if there's a difference?
No, but I mean, if you jump in a pool, you're gonna get wet. I mean, some things you don't have to freaking test. You know?
What is that phrase?
If you just play audiobooks for a kid, he's going to grow up and he'll never learn how to read. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, no, I know. But like, once you teach the like ABCs or whatever.
Am I exhausting you?
Yeah. No, I'm still hung up on if you jump in a pool, you're going to get wet. Just don't know what year it is. I like Johnny Beaner, the hometown politician. Hey guys, I'm a straight shooter, okay? If you jump in a pool, you're gonna get wet. Sometimes a hollered dog will yelp, a hit dog will holler. Okay, so the way I see it, you can dress up a pig and put lipstick on it, but it's still a pig, okay? So it's like, what would you just tell us if we have to pay this tax or not? Okay. Well, all I was thinking about...
You're not sold, so you're not sold.
No, I'm sold. I am sold that reading is the act of, like, looking at words.
It looked like you looked at your watch. No. I'm sold.
I'm sold. We got to... No. I am sold on the sense that you're right. This person said they used to love reading. They still used to love reading. They don't...
Right.
They didn't discover a love of reading because somebody's now telling them the story.
Right.
But I was just thinking separately because I was like, okay, I agree with you. But then it just like occurred to me. I was like, well, does it matter really? No, okay, as kids, maybe you're right. You got to make, because you have to be able to read stop signs and literature and on your phone and stuff. But like, does it really matter if you like let's say you're trying to learn about Alexander the Great and there was a biography written about him and you listened to it or read it, does one person know more about Alexander the Great? That's my question.
No, I will. Yes, that's true. But here's what I'm saying. Let's say that's the case. You listen to an audiobook on Alexander the Great, and then you're at a party and someone says, "Oh man, I read this book about Alexander the Great. It was so good." Can you say, "Oh, I read that book too"? I don't think you can.
Yeah,
I don't think you can say that. You have to say, "Oh, I listened to that in my car."
Transparency.
Yes.
You want transparency because it's so difficult to read, especially like a long, like let's say it's like a 700-page book or something. The person who literally read it deserves some sort of extra recognition over the person who listened to it.
Right.
So we need a better word or phrase. Because it's weird to say, "Oh, yeah, I listened to that book." Like, no one talks like that. That's not a common way to speak. So we need something to differentiate. There should be an asterisk over read when you...
Oh, yeah, so you could be like, "Oh, yeah, I stupid read that." Because you're too stupid. I'm inventing
or
that.
Maybe you just say read in the past, the present tense when you mean it in past tense. "Oh yeah, I read that." Alexander the Great, I read that. Like, do you mean read? "Oh no, I listened to it." So I have to say it like a 2-year-old. "Oh yeah, I read that. I like that a lot." I read that part. I read that part where I didn't quite understand that, but otherwise when I read it, I was...
My favorite part was you have to talk like an idiot.
Dude, we went to Barnes and Noble today. That's like Heidi's favorite thing to do with Ginger is we have this like abandoned mall in Portland, and there's like 4 stores left in this huge mall in the middle of the city, and an ice skating rink. That's all that's there. But there's a Barnes and Noble with like nobody in it. It's like amazing, and for some reason it's still in business. I don't know why. It's just kind of fun to let her run around the kids' books, and there's puppets and all this stuff in there. So she takes her there sometimes, and I went there. And it was really weighing on me. I was like looking at all the books. And it's like, I'm going to die. And there's going to be so many books I just never read. Like there's so many. Like I was like, how many of these, did I read this one? No.
How is that different for anyone? You mean like classics or thing that you should read?
But anything. I'm just saying it you go through your life. It's not different. I'm not saying it's different for anyone. I'm not saying I'm extra stupid. I think I read like the average amount of books in a lifespan probably of like my demographic or whatever. I'm just saying it's kind of depressing to look around and go, there's so much out there that I'll just never read.
Yeah.
And I'll watch like The Sopranos probably 25 more times. But like War and Peace is just not going to ever get down the hatch for me. Like there's just no chance, I don't know, it just occurred to me. I don't know if that's sad or not, whatever it is. I was like, if I was like, sometimes I think of like, oh, if you were like imprisoned for an infinity amount of time, but there was just like all the books, like that would be kind of interesting to like read everything that's ever been written or whatever. But like you would be very smart. But
that's what I think. That's what I mean. I don't think that, but I've had the thought of like, that would be what hell might be like. You die. It's like you can go to heaven after you read every book that has ever been written.
No, that's...
I'd be like, can I listen to them?
You're like, can I make a gun out of one of these books and just kill myself again?
Kill my soul.
It's so funny what you just said because like that's somebody's heaven. That's a weird. That's probably a philosophical something where like what's heaven to you is hell to someone else or whatever, and vice versa. But yeah, somebody's heaven.
Hell is probably
Somebody's heaven is
Go
being
ahead.
locked into a room with every book ever written and being told you don't have to do anything except for read all these books. That's got to be somebody's heaven, but that's your hell.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's
Yeah.
my hell. But also, someone's hell could be you have to get on a stage and
Yeah.
talk to people,
In St. Louis, when they're
in St. Louis on
drunk
Sunday
and
night.
someone's like screaming at you.
Mhm.
That heckle is so bad too. Like, oh, only 24 people here. Hey, buddy, it's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, guess
Nobody.
what? You're one of them,
Yeah.
idiot.
Hey, dipshit.
Oh,
No one sells out the Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, I back you up. You gotta say you can't say
All
I
right.
read it if you listen to it, and also
You gotta say,
yeah, it's different. It's different. It's a different thing. It's whatever you want to call it. It's not watching
It's
a
different.
movie. It's better than watching a movie, but it's not as good as actually reading a book. So,
what do you mean better?
well,
What do you mean
like
better than-
intellectually or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You get more credit.
Enjoyably, no.
No, watching a movie is. I mean,
I'd rather watch
better.
a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. You're up.
I'm backing you up. I'm with you. Okay, so this one. Okay, I'll go quick. This one is. There's been lots of like pandemic rules where I was like, it's time to get rid of these. Like the hotel maid not coming in your room unless you. It's like we've already debunked all this. That's just bullshit theater, or like the QR codes.
Right.
Like that's not how people are catching COVID is from the menus. Like, can we just go back to regular menus? But I don't know if this was mainstream, but like there was kind of a thing at the very beginning of the pandemic where if you go to the grocery store, you weren't supposed to like go with a group. You were just like one person represents. Don't overcrowd the grocery. In fact, in Portland, we had lines to get in. They would like literally like make you wait to keep the distancing in the store. That one we
had that too.
That one we can keep as far as one person per family unit in a grocery store at a time. So I was at Trader Joe's the other day. Just forever. That's the rule forever. I was at the grocery store the other day, Trader Joe's, and there was a couple, a little older, like probably in their 40s or 50s, a couple wandering around, taking up space, and this couple was like in front of the vegetable aisle, and like, do we need the asparagus? And then they would have a debate, and they'd be talking to each other, and there's two of them in the way, and so then now you're standing in front of the broccoli and the asparagus. What life are you living where both of you go to the grocery store? Go home. One of you could be home watching TV right now, or your children, or like writing a letter.
Or reading.
Reading. You could be listening to an audiobook. You could be doing anything. Why would two people go to the grocery store and suck up space?
Oh, my God.
It's a nightmare. So here's a grocery store should enforce this.
Yeah.
One person.
You have to show your ID, and they look at
and if it has the same last name as anybody else.
Or the same address, yeah, you're out.
And if it's a kid, the kid has to fit in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you have a kid that's big enough to walk alongside, that kid should be in the car or home.
Oh, couldn't agree more. I don't understand why people like the one you're talking about. Why, if God forbid, Aaron and I ever divorce,
yeah,
and you ask where was the last place you were together before it all fell apart, it would be the grocery store, because I am never more miserable than when we are both.
Why would you ever be
place
there
together.
together? I mean, why would you ever have to
The
go?
only time we have been is if we're like running errands or we're doing something with the kid, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna go drop you off at home. Well, let's just we'll go to the store on the way home. And it's like, I'll walk home.
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I was in a grocery store with Heidi, but honestly, I cannot think of. And it's like, it's so rude. I mean, I guess it's not, you're not thinking about being rude when you do it, but like you're in the way. Like if there's two of you, you're in the way.
I retweeted. Or I
Yeah.
liked your tweet. I saw your tweet.
That was a tweet. It was a real thing that happened to me. I was at Trader Joe's. I felt like I was following this couple the entire time, and they're just having a conversation about everything they throw in the cart, and you just stay home. Enjoy that time. Enjoy that time for yourself. You don't have to be together all the time. Take a risk.
Especially. Ugh.
Okay,
Especially
that was it.
I don't know about you if you enjoy grocery shopping. Do you enjoy grocery shopping?
I hate it.
It's the worst.
I hate it. It's like it's a weird thing where I don't know if it ever was fun, but like now, do you ever get in like a rut where you're like literally Heidi will just say, yeah, just get the usual stuff. And so I know like all the, like, okay, this is the chicken, these are the vegetables, this is the meats, this is the, and so it's like, it's just more like sort of a, that's why I like going, that's like I like switching. The only way you get any pleasure out of it is to switch up stores. So like Trader Joe's is fun versus like Whole Foods versus Safeway, right? Like, oh yeah, they have this, it's a very sad way to live, but
spicing up the life,
spicing up my, yeah. But I don't know if I've ever enjoyed it. I always end up making like too many laps, like I forget. And then you get at the end and you're like, oh fuck, I forgot, whatever's on the list.
Yeah, I gotta go all the way to the other corner.
Yeah, so I do not enjoy it. And especially in COVID with like, now it's not such a big deal, but like when you were really kind of like paranoid about it and the masks and all that stuff, it's like, it's just, the grocery store thing was a nightmare. I remember when COVID was first breaking out, I went to like the Fred Meyer here, which was like kind of a, I don't know what it is. It's like the Northwest sort of Walmart thing where they have a grocery store, but they also have like a department store and like a camping section and all this shit. And it was so bad. It was when there were people making like a run on things. So it's like, oh, toilet paper's short, or like, and there are just people everywhere, but everyone doesn't want to be around anybody. So it's like, it was just a nightmare. I don't know. So grocery delivery is great.
See, I like what Trader Joe's has, but I'm always feel crowded. I always feel like, get off of me. I just want to leave.
I think that's why they can keep stuff cheap, as they just have a small square foot. Like they don't pay a lot in rent or something. My friend Maria, who was on the show once, Maria Shahada, she had something where she's like, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop on Trader Joe's. Like it's gonna be like they use slaves or something, because like why can their like the food is good, but why is it so cheap?
Yeah.
And it's true. I think about that all the time. Like, man, like this is significantly cheaper than like, but it's also like kind of nice, good stuff. Like, what is going on? What is
and
the
also
deal?
why are the employees always like super positive?
Yeah,
like they're always nice, right?
Yeah,
everywhere.
They're nice,
LA,
and there's a lot of
they're
them.
Always like, yeah.
Like some grocery stores, there's like nobody there to help you or whatever. Like Trader Joe's, there's like a lot of them around. There's like a bagger, the guy actually bags the groceries, as opposed to like, sometimes, there's nobody there to do it, or you have to awkwardly wait, like the person ringing them all up, and then you're standing there like, that's looking like a lot of work piling up there.
Yeah.
Should I be? And then they have to move over and start bagging. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of already blew through all the conversation I was going to use, but
now I'll just pull out my phone while you bag my shit.
Oh, this is a funny TikTok. Have you seen this one? Oh, wait, you're busy.
You're just asking them for help with your Wordle while they're bagging your shit.
Oh, man, I'm on fire with Wordle. Do you do it?
Do you do Wordle?
Yeah.
I don't. I just like a couple days ago learned what it is.
I'm on fire. Never lost. 35. I have a theory. Okay, here's my hot take on Wordle, which you're not going to understand.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you'll appreciate it or not. You can just say yes, that you support me. But
okay.
I think it's a game they invented that makes you feel smart for getting it, but really anybody can, like dumb people can do it.
Oh yeah, we talked about.
Oh, we
this
talked about
already.
this? Shit. Damn it. That's
It's just
it.
like a confidence booster because it's like everyone's gonna get it.
Everyone's going to
Yeah.
get it. And so you just go, oh, yeah. It's like, and then the crossword is where they separate the wheat from the chaff. I don't,
Huh.
not even sure
I'm
if I
gonna go
used
back
that
and listen to
correctly.
that and see if you used that same wording.
I probably did. Well, that seems like a good place to end it. Boy, does it feel like we've done 99
you jump into
episodes.
a pool, you're gonna get wet, Andrew. We are pros.
Oh, man. We are limping to the finish line for 100 eps.
All right, well, folks, yeah, next week is the big centennial. I
Tell your
like to say that
friends.
because it sounds important.
Centennial. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. We are going to bring our top topics, so our favorite topics, whether it's from each other, from ourselves, from guests, whatever it is. We're going to bring our favorite topics, revisit them, rank them, see which were the best topics of the 100 Cavalry episodes.
And that's our
Anyway,
show. Thanks, everybody.
thanks for listening to the Cavalry podcast. I will be in Walla Walla, Washington, April 15th, and Laughs in Seattle, the end of April, Friday and Saturday. So, AndrewSlater.com for those dates. Johnny, where are you going to be?
April 1st, I will be at Menominee Falls, the Brew Tap House. I probably should have looked up what it was called.
You only had 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'll be in Menominee Falls at the Brew House, Tap House, or whatever it's called. And it's on JohnnyBeaner.com. And then April 2nd, Saturday, Medford Theater in Medford, Wisconsin.
Okay, come see us at a live show and maybe get kicked out. What do you know? You know?
And then we'll talk about you.
Take a shot. All right, that's it. Patreon for
All right, leave a 5-star review.
5-star review.
You've just given up on even saying it.
Well, I mean, they know.
Why are
I
we
don't
even
know.
telling them?
I see
They
our
know,
numbers.
they know.
It's a steady and the same audience. But we love them. We love you. Okay, thanks for listening to
The Cavalry.
The Cavalry.